upon he asked me, what is your goal in your life? That time I had cleared my goal in my mind, but I was not, able to speak that into English. Immediately I disconnected his call. Basic. That time I got to know, like, we have lack of knowledge. We need to learn tenses. At that time, I learned.
Okay, but you said that your journey has begun like 2 months ago. But what I feel is that you must have been listening from a very long time. So how long have you been doing this listening practice?
Ma'am, as I told you, I have been listening you when you had 1.6k, 7k
I think
subscriber.
2 years. It's been two
Time,
years now.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so yeah, like your journey has begun 2 years ago, not 2 months ago, because people don't include that listening part and the observation part, which they have been observing for a long period. They only consider themselves they are into the practice only. Like you are in the practice from last 2 months, so you thought
yeah.
that you started learning 2 months ago, but no, it's not true. You have been. So yes, very good morning. How are you?
Good morning, ma'am. I'm fine. What about you?
I'm doing absolutely fine. And I think it is the first time that I'm taking session this morning, like early. I have never
Yeah.
taken any kind of session like this time. So it's like very unusual for me. So
Okay, that's good. Okay, so ma'am, I took 2 minutes, because I had to come on the roof because in my room there's network issue, so that's why.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's great. So at what time you usually wake up?
It's depend on when at what time I'm sleeping in the night. Sometimes I sleep
Okay.
at 2 a.m. Sometime at 12 p.m. So that time it's depend on my sleeping time.
Okay, okay. But for me, at whatever time I have to sleep, I have to wake up sharp 7.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
So
ma'am,
yes.
yeah,
Hmm.
we are meeting for very first time.
Yes.
Actually, I know about you very well, everything, because I have been following you for very long time. I think when
Okay.
you had 1.67k subscribers, since then I have been following you. But I did not
Okay.
start my English learning. I
Okay.
started later. I started later, but I used to watch your contents when you used to have, clappingo conversation. So that from that time I have been following you.
Now I would like to know about you as well.
Yeah, my name is Sunny. I'm from Bihar, especially from Sivan district, and yeah, it is the district of Dr. Rajendra Prasad. He was the first president of India. And yeah, if I talk about my study, I have completed my class 12th. And if I talk about my hobby is playing cricket. It's all
Okay.
about me. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so like when did you start your journey? Exactly like how many months ago?
Ma'am, I think very lately I have started. I started learning English 2 months back. And since
Okay.
then I have been doing practice every day consistently. But, from last 5 days, I am not doing practice. And today, after 5 days break, today I'm just doing conversation with you. So that's why sometimes and it is very special conversation for me. So definitely, I'm hesitating, fumbling.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I would like to make you comfortable here that do not hesitate. If you will hesitate, that your video will not record good. If you
No,
want
no,
that
no.
viewers should watch you like a confident speaker, you have to be confident. And I know that you can do it. Generally, when I talk with the people like from the Bihar, they have their different accent. But you
Mhm.
have no issue such like that. I can see that your accent is absolutely clear and it's very natural also. You're not making any fake accent at all, or like you're not even making mistakes in pronunciation. So that's a good part.
Yeah. And one thing is, ma'am, I can say that no, every day when I go to when I go to start my English learning, every time I used to watch, your content. No, sometime I watch your content with recently. If I tell you, I have watched your all the conversation with Jadu. Sometime Manish Bhave, you did conversation with Manish Bhave, and with Siv, teacher Siv. Every conversation I have watched. So
Oh,
your conversation. I like your conversation because the way you talk to them. So that is mind blowing, and I totally understand your all the conversation. So that is very, I can say, that important part for me to watch your content and learn English from that.
Okay, that's amazing. Great. So nice to know that
Mm,
people are watching my video and learning from them. That's the amazing thing.
mm.
Okay. So let's talk about something related to English. As you said that you have recently started your learning like 2 months ago. So I would
Yeah.
like to know the person who is 2 months ago, like um, how to say this. Last time I made a mistake when I asked this question to somebody, and somebody told me in the comment section. I asked like, would you be able to speak 2 months ago or not?
Okay. Okay. I can get it. Means when I started English learning, that time was I able to speak or not? Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm telling you. When I started English learning for very first time, ma'am, it was very difficult for me to speak English, even a single line. I installed the application by watching a video because when I started English learning, before starting I used to watch so many contents on YouTube, like how to be fluent, how much time will it take to be fluent in English. So that time, after watching plenty of contents, I got bored. Like I kept my phone aside. Then that time I thought, why am I not taking a step towards my English language? That time I kept my phone aside, as I told you, and I had decided that today, from today onward, I have to do practice. I have to take my first step. I installed the application because I got to know from a video about application that was totally I can say that free application, where you can do conversation with anybody free of cost. There was no any limitation of calls.
Which application you're
And
talking about? Can you tell me the name?
it is Talk Now.
Talk now.
Nowadays the the app is not working very properly, thoroughly, because there is ad. Okay, they have put an ad into it. So that's why it is not good for use nowadays. But that time,
Okay.
it was 2 months before, that was totally free, and that was totally smooth. It was working
Okay.
very smoothly. So that time, when I was finding a practice partner on that platform, that time I got a partner. And the partner with whom I was connected, he asked me about my introduction, introduced myself very well, and he introduced himself very well. Thereupon he asked me, what is your goal in your life? That time I had cleared my goal in my mind, but I was not able to speak that into English. That time I
Okay.
thought, my God, how can I answer that question? Like, what is my aim in my life? I was blushing. Immediately I disconnected his call. And again again I connected with somebody else, and same thing happened with me. That time again I kept my phone aside, and I thought, why am I not able to speak a single sentence? That time I searched on YouTube. How can I start English speaking from basic? That time I got to know, like, we have lack of knowledge, we need to learn tenses. At that time I
Okay.
learned tenses very well. There are 12 structure in tenses. And after learning 12 structure, I used to implement it in my daily life, like whenever I was going outside the home and with friends. That time I used to implement those 12 structure in my daily life. And that's how I
Okay.
learned 12 tenses, 12 structures, tenses. And nowadays I'm using, and since then I'm using it. Okay, and I'm doing practice. But after learning tenses, I think things gets easy. We just need to put some models, some verbs. By using those, by associating those things, we can speak very well. So these are the
Mm.
things, and I have been doing practice from that day onward, every day. That's why nowadays I'm able to speak.
Okay, but you said that your journey has begun like 2 months ago. But what I feel is that you must have been listening from a very long time. So how long have you been doing this listening practice?
Ma'am, as I told you, I have been listening you when you had 1.6k, 7k
I think
subscriber.
2 years. It's been two
I,
years now.
yeah, and I told you in the message, but you did not. I don't think so. You would believe or not, but definitely, ma'am, I'm telling you. When you had 1.67k subscriber, since then I have been watching you. In the meanwhile, in the middle, I left watching because I had some other work. I was busy somewhere else. And again, when the thought came in my mind, like I should take this step towards my English language, again I started watching you. And after you, I started watching you, like I was watching a conversation video with Rajni ma'am, with you. And that time I got to know about Rajni ma'am, and I subscribed her channel as well, so that I can watch her content. But before everybody, I used to watch you.
Okay, so yeah, like your journey has begun 2 years ago, not 2 months ago, because people don't include that listening part and the observation part, which they have been observing for a long period. They only consider themselves they are into the practice only. Like you are in the practice from last 2 months, so you thought
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you started learning 2 months ago, but no, it's not true. You have been learning for a long time. That is
Listening,
why this
listening.
is the result which I can see on your face. You are too much confident also, and you are speaking really well. And it cannot be possible within a 2 month for a person to learn this kind of fluency. So yes, it's all about listening. The more you will listen, the more accurate you will be able to speak. And this is what I have noticed with so many people, that if a
Hmm.
person started recently, he even don't listen anything till now, but he started now, so it will take minimum 1 year, because for 6 or 7 months he will
Hmm.
only listening, he will be only listening, and then after some time when he was confident, sure, get some motivation through watching different kinds of videos, then he start putting those efforts into speaking, right? And this is how it takes a long time. Like people say that we learn in 2 months or 3 months, but most of the time it's not possible. Sometimes it's possible, like in the case of Harish Bhave, what was the name,
Yeah, Harish
so
Bhave. That's right.
yeah, so he was very confident. So I can consider him that yes, he can. He has learned this language just within a 4 month. But I think it's very like difficult task for a normal person who is doing all his work along with the learning, because he has different case, different scene, because he has a medical shop. So he was sitting throughout the day on the shop. So obviously he was not dealing the customers whole 8 hours. So he can spend a lot
Yeah,
more
yeah.
times into the learning, and that was the result of that he had given a lot of time. So if somebody is giving a
Hmm.
lot of time, 100% they can learn within 2 months or 3 months. But otherwise, if someone is prioritizing his all work, job, and household chores, then it's not possible to learn English in just a 3 or 4 months for a person. What I feel is.
Ma'am, according to me, I have seen so many people. So like everybody is doing like if I talk about this application here, most of the people are household housewife, and they
uh,
have different works. But
Yes.
if according to me, if you want to learn this language, so definitely we need to dedicate ourselves in this
That's true.
language. Like when no, after doing practice, we need to learn things very clearly, and we need to implement that in our daily lives. That only that's how we can learn it. Otherwise, if we won't take it for serious, so definitely we are not going to learn it.
Yeah.
We are doing practice one day for 1 hour, and after that we are not learning any like any vocabularies, any phrasal verb, any idioms, phrases. So how can we be fluent in it? Definitely it is not going to happen. Every day, with consistent practice, consistent effort, only that consistent effort will work for us, and that
Mm.
will paid us.
That's true. I completely agree with you, because sometimes what happens that people even are free, but they're not that much dedicated. So they're not spending a
Hmm.
lot of time for their learning. But sometimes if a person, even if he's busy, he or she can devote some time just out of his dedication, because he's very much passionate. He has this zeal to learn English. So he will take out some time. Even he can compromise his sleep time, rest time, or other times which he's getting. So it's totally depend upon the dedication level and the consistency. As you said, that person has to practice daily. It's not like that one day you're practicing for 1 hour and next day you are like 2 to 3 days you're not um, doing any practice. So practice is obviously important. Otherwise, you're not going to get your result. So yeah, that's
Hmm.
true.
Okay, ma'am, I have a question for you. Like everybody, whoever do practice, whoever learn things, everybody has their own, like everybody has their own weak area. Everybody even knows on which area they need to do focus, they need to
Yes.
work on it. But if I
Yes.
talk about you, like what do you observe when you do practice, when you are listening? Because you have been learning English language for a very long time. So if I ask you the question, on which part you feel like you need to do work so much? Like
I
grammatical part,
I
vocabularies.
I
Okay.
feel that I have to work everywhere in English. I still do not consider myself like perfect one. I still consider myself as a learner, and I am a learner, because I can see that I am making mistakes in my grammar, or
Hmm.
especially when I talk about my past, I
Hmm.
have less number of vocabulary. And
Mm.
sometimes even I feel nervous when I see a person sitting in front of me who is much, much better than me. Sometimes, not every time. Sometimes it's happened, I don't feel comfortable while talking to them because it's the human nature. When we see someone who is, very much expert and, we feel like, okay, like I can make a mistake. However, I do not think a lot about that. I always try to put my 100%. I try to be confident. I try to look confident sometimes, even if I'm not feeling inside. So it is very natural, and I think it happens with everyone. So I'm still working on it. Yes, you said correctly that I have been spending, like, I have already spent 2 years of my life for learning this language dedicatedly. But still, I can say that I'm not free for learning it. I am just occupied with my responsibilities, my work. And for that reason, I'm not able to give proper time. I think I should spend some more time for learning it, which I'm not getting right now. So for that reason, my progress may be slow, but
Mm.
100% I am progressing. That's true. I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
compare my previous videos with the current one, so I can see the difference. I can see even sometimes what happened, we're not, progressing in the terms of speaking, but in terms of our body language. The moment we're talking with someone, we are improving our body language, the way of communication. Everything matters a lot. It's not only that you have to speak fluently and speak correctly. You should know that how you should speak. What should be the style of speaking? People say that every person has a different style, but there must be
Mm.
a proper one style which everyone should know, like how you should sit, how you should be, like what should be your hand gestures, how your
Mm.
facial expression when you're talking with somebody. So in 2 years, I must say that I'm not only learning English, I'm learning the body language part also, and I'm improving day by day. Yes.
That's good thing, ma'am. You are doing really great because hand gesture and body movement, everything makes us very if you want to be professional, so everything we need to be perfect in everything. That's the right
Yes.
thing. But I think, ma'am, whatever you are, according to me, because you are advocate, I according to me, you did not get time to do work. Even you have a child, so that he is a very nutty. I have seen so many times he comes into the video. Okay, so I think whatever you are learning best just doing by practicing, by doing
Yes,
practice with others people.
that's all.
That yeah, yeah. And
That's all.
apart from it, you are not getting time to do any other activity in English.
Earlier, I used to listen when I used to walk for 1 hour. It was my schedule that I have to walk for 1 hour. That was something like make me interested to learn English as well. Because when I'm
Hmm.
walking, I'm always using my phone and listening something English podcast, audio book, everything like audiobooks.
Hmm.
But since like it's been 3 months, I'm not doing any kind of walking and all. So like everything is just stopped. So sometimes I feel that my progress is like stuck somewhere and stuck. I'm not able to improve because I'm not listening. You're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
giving time to listening, and listening is the most important part of your overall journey. If you thought that you have listened enough and you are able to speak and you should stop listening, no, you will not grow if you will stop listening. Even though you are able to speak fluently, you should always watch others content. You should always read audio learn sorry listen audiobooks. You should always read. These are the
Hmm.
sources where you will get the consumption of like English language. So you should always uh, put some input inside your mind. Obviously, if you will get some input, then only you will be give output. So that's
Hmm.
important. Even if you're fluent, you should still listen. Then only your
Yeah,
progress will be improving. Then only you will get progress. Yeah.
yeah. Some of the peoples are on YouTube, like doing very very hard work every day. Some of our I can say that permanent to learn English language. And if I talk about some of my friends, they started very earlier than me. They are doing YouTube for a very long time. They have good number of subscribers. Still, they are not able to speak better than me. I can say that. I'm not saying that I'm very better, but better than me just because of their work. Like they are just doing YouTube, and by when they like upload conversation video, for that they need to invest so much I can say that time, because
Hmm.
you have to make thumbnail, you have to edit the video, you have to do conversation. So just
Yes.
because of that, they are not getting time to learn, improve
Learn.
themselves. And
Yeah.
I have no any other work except English learning, so I
English
am
learn.
totally focused on it. That's why I can say that I'm improving very fast. And
Yeah,
yeah, after
that's
6 or 7 months, I have an assumption that if I will keep it continue like this, so definitely I will be very perfect in it.
Yes, 100% all the best for your journey. And I have to go. Somebody is on the door. I think I need to go. And thank you so much for the conversation. I have to end up this conversation like this. I was not thinking that I'm going to do this, but I have to do it. So bye bye. Take care. I'll see you
Thank you,
again.
ma'am. Have a nice day.